Chapter 3, 10 Months Beneath the Sky. The first thing Goku taught Izuku Midoriya was not how to punch. It was not how to fly. It was not how to fire a ki blast. It was how to breathe. Izuku had expected something impossible on the first day. After everything he had seen, the instant movement, the glowing energy in Goku's palm, the invisible force that had pinned the sludge villain to the street, his mind had built 1,000 theories before sunrise. Maybe Goku would teach him a secret martial art. Maybe he would unlock some hidden energy inside his body. Maybe he would explain a technique that could let a quirkless person stand beside heroes. Instead, Goku pointed at the beach. Run to the end. Izuku blinked. Dagobah Municipal Beach Park stretched before him, covered in rusted appliances, broken pipes, abandoned vehicles, and mountains of garbage. The sea air smelled like salt and metal. Seagulls cried overhead. The morning sun had barely risen. To the end? Izuku asked. Yep, and then run back. Izuku gripped the straps of his backpack, and after that, Goku smiled. Again. Izuku stared at him. Goku stared back. A long silence passed. Izuku slowly raised one hand. Master Goku? Goku tilted his head. Izuku turned red immediately. Sorry, Goku, I didn't mean to. No, that's fine. Sure, I had masters too. Izuku's eyes brightened. Then Goku pointed at the beach again. Run. The brightness vanished. Yes, sir. Izuku ran. He lasted 11 minutes before collapsing face first into the sand. Goku crouched beside him. Not bad. Izuku lifted one trembling thumb from the sand. Nah. You're just tired. I can't feel my legs. That happens? That happens? Goku nodded cheerfully. Izuku groaned into the sand. That was the beginning. The first month was humiliation. Izuku learned that wanting to train and surviving training were not the same thing. Goku did not start with attacks. He did not start with heroic poses. He did not start with dramatic speeches about destiny. He made Izuku run. He made him carry old refrigerators across the beach. He made him drag tires through wet sand. He made him climb piles of scrap metal without using his hands when his arms were too tired. He made him stand still with his eyes closed and listen to the world. That was somehow the hardest part. Don't think so loud, Goku said one morning. Izuku opened one eye. I'm sorry? You're thinking so loud. That's not a thing people can do. It is for you. Izuku flushed. I'm trying to focus. You're trying to force it. Goku sat cross-legged on an old washing machine. Ki isn't something you grab. It's already there. You notice it first, then you guide it. Izuku closed his eyes again. He tried to feel something. Anything. At first, there was only wind. Waves, birds, his own heartbeat, his sore muscles, his empty stomach. Then for one tiny second, he felt warmth in his chest. Not emotion. Not exactly. A small center of life. He gasped. The feeling vanished. I felt it. Goku grinned. Good. Izuku grabbed his notebook. It was warm, right behind the sternum, but not physically warm. More like internal pressure, except not painful. And I think it reacted when I stopped trying to force it, which means Ki responds better to relaxed concentration than direct muscular effort. Goku blinked. Izuku kept writing. Goku leaned over his shoulder. That's a lot of words. I need to document everything. You'll need to do push-ups too. Izuku froze. How many? Goku smiled. Izuku regretted asking. By the end of the second month, Izuku could sense his own ki consistently. It was small, very small. Goku said his starting power level had been low, even lower than most trained fighters in Goku's world. Not because Izuku had no potential, but because his body had never been conditioned to use energy that way. Right now, Goku said one evening, your power level is around 14. Izuku's pencil snapped. 14? Goku nodded. Izuku looked devastated. Is that bad? For fighting? Yeah. Izuku wilted. But it's higher than when we started. Izuku slowly looked up. What was I before? Goku thought for a second. Maybe 5. Izuku stared. Then his eyes filled with fire. So I almost tripled it. Goku smiled. That's the right way to look at it. From that day forward, Izuku tracked his power level like a sacred number. Power level 20 came after he carried a broken engine block halfway across the beach without dropping it. Power level 35 came after he learned to push ki into his legs for one short burst of speed. Power level 50 came after he stood his ground while Goku lightly tapped him in the forehead and sent him rolling through the sand. Power level 80 came after he stopped crying from exhaustion and started laughing instead. Not because it was easy. Because he had survived another day. The third month changed everything. Goku stood before him with one hand raised. Today, you learn how to release ki. Izuku's entire body locked. Ki blast? Tiny ki blast. Izuku nodded so fast his hair bounced. Right. Tiny. Controlled, non-lethal, minimal output, stable palm channeling, no civilian proximity, no reflective surfaces, no? Goku placed a finger on Izuku's forehead. Breathe. Izuku inhaled. Exhaled. Goku demonstrated first. He lifted his palm toward a floating soda can he had placed on a broken metal pole. A speck of blue-white light formed in his hand. It was smaller than a marble. Goku flicked his wrist. The tiny key shot forward and knocked the can into the sand without denting it. Izuku's jaw dropped. That was perfect control. Goku shrugged. Try. Izuku lifted his shaking hand. He gathered warmth into his palm. Nothing happened. He tried again, nothing. Again. A spark appeared and immediately popped in his face. Izuku fell backward with a yelp, hair smoking lightly. Goku laughed. Izuku sat up slowly. Is my eyebrow still there? Mostly. Mostly. Goku gave him a thumbs up. By sunset, Izuku produced his first real ki blast. It flew 3 feet, curved wildly left, and knocked over Goku's lunch. Goku stared at the spilled food. Izuku froze in horror. I'm so sorry. Goku stood very still. The wind moved between them. Then Goku said quietly, again. Izuku gulped. That day, Izuku learned 2 things. First, he could fire ki. Second, never destroy a Saiyan's lunch. By the 5th month, Izuku's power level reached 120. His body changed. Not dramatically. He did not become huge, he did not become a different person. But his frame grew stronger. His legs stopped shaking after every sprint. His arms could lift things he once could not move. His breathing steadied, his eyes sharpened. He still looked like Izuku Midoriya, but he moved with intention. He learned basic ki reinforcement. At first, Goku only allowed him to reinforce one part of his body at a time. Right hand, Goku said. Izuku focused. Warmth gathered in his right fist. Goku tossed a small stone. Izuku punched it. The stone cracked. Izuku stared at his fist. No broken fingers, no pain, only a dull vibration through his knuckles. I did it, he whispered. Goku nodded. Again, left hand. Izuku smiled. Yes. Goku tossed another stone. This one hit Izuku in the forehead. Izuku dropped. Goku winced. You guarded the wrong place. From the sand, Izuku groaned. Lesson understood. The 6th month brought flight. Izuku had asked about it almost every week. Goku always said, later. Finally, later arrived. They stood on a cliff above the beach, the ocean stretching behind them under a pale blue sky. Izuku looked over the edge, then at Goku, then over the edge again. So, flight training? Yep, Izuku swallowed. Does it involve falling? Goku smiled. Izuku's face turned white. It involves falling. Only if you mess up. That does not make me feel better. Goku stepped off the cliff and floated in the air. Flying is just ki control. You push energy under you, around you, through you. Don't fight gravity like it's an enemy. Work around it. Izuku took furious notes. Goku waited. Izuku kept writing. Goku waited more. Izuku filled another page. Goku sighed, floated back, gently took the notebook, and placed it on a rock. Feel first, write later. Izuku nodded nervously. He stepped to the edge, his heart hammered. He gathered ki into his feet. For 1 second, his body became light. His shoes lifted from the stone. He gasped. The focus broke. He dropped like a brick. Ah! Goku caught him by the back of his shirt. Izuku dangled over the cliff. Goku looked down at him. You stopped breathing again? I was falling. Yeah, but breathing still helps. And by the end of the week, Izuku could hover 3 inches off the ground. By the end of the month, he could float across the beach slowly. By the 7th month, he could fly in short bursts. Not gracefully, not beautifully, but he could fly. The first time he stayed in the air for a full minute, he cried. Goku pretended not to notice. Then Izuku wiped his eyes and whispered, a quirkless person is flying. Goku looked up at the sky. No, Izuku Midoriya is flying. Izuku looked at him. Goku smiled. There's a difference. The 8th month was combat. That was when Izuku learned how far away he still was. Goku did not hit him hard. He barely touched him. A tap on the shoulder sent Izuku spinning. A gentle sweep dropped him into the sand. A slow punch stopped 1 inch from his face, and the air pressure alone pushed his hair back. Again and again, Izuku fell. Again and again, he stood. His notebook became less full of hero trivia and more full of training patterns. Do not stare at the hand. Watch the center. Breathe before impact. Feet first, then hips, then shoulder. Ki blast accuracy drops when afraid. Flight consumes energy quickly. Never assume the opponent is done moving. Never let your guard down. That last line came from Goku more than any other. Again, Goku said. Izuku raised his arms. Goku vanished. Izuku spun left. Too late. Goku tapped his back. Izuku fell forward. Guard down. Izuku pushed himself up. Again. Goku smiled. He vanished. This time, Izuku ducked before he saw him. Goku's hand passed over his head. Izuku countered with a tiny ki burst from his palm. Goku tilted his head and dodged it easily, but his smile widened. Better. Izuku landed hard, panting. Did I almost hit you? No, Izuku collapsed. But you reacted before I attacked, Goku said. Izuku lifted his head. That matters. The 9th month brought the beach close to clean. Not fully, but close. The mountains of garbage had become open sand. Rusted machines were stacked neatly for removal. Scrap metal was sorted. Broken furniture was gone. Izuku had moved almost all of it by hand, with only limited ki reinforcement allowed. Goku called it body foundation. Izuku called it impossible. Yet he had done it. His power level reached 260, then 300, then 340. He could fire a controlled ki blast strong enough to dent metal. He could reinforce his arms and legs for short bursts. He could fly for nearly 5 minutes if he stayed calm. He could sense Goku's presence if Goku did not hide completely. That last one mattered most. One evening, Izuku stood with his eyes closed while Goku walked silently around him. Where am I? Izuku breathed slowly. He felt the wind, the waves, the gulls, the faint warmth of Goku's energy, suppressed but still bright. Behind me, left side, Goku smiled. Good. Izuku turned too early. Goku appeared on his right and poked his cheek. Guard down, Izuku groaned. You lied with your energy. I moved. You moved while hiding your energy. Yep, that's unfair. Villains are unfair. Izuku opened his mouth, then closed it. He wrote that down. By the 10th month, Izuku Midoriya's power level reached 400. Goku made him sit on a large piece of driftwood at sunrise and told him directly. You're at 400 now. Izuku went silent. The ocean moved softly behind him. 400. It was not planet-breaking power. It was not All Might. It was not Goku. But it was his. Not borrowed. Not inherited. Not a quirk. His training, his pain, his choice, his life energy. Izuku looked at his hands. A faint white-blue aura flickered around his fingers when he focused. I'm at 400. Goku nodded. That's still low compared to strong fighters from my world. Izuku laughed softly. I know. But here, Goku looked toward the city. If you use it right, it's enough to pass that exam. Izuku's head snapped up. The UA entrance exam. It had arrived. 10 months had disappeared like a storm. Every morning, every injury, every notebook page, every failure, every tiny success had led to this. Tomorrow, he would stand before the gates of UA High School. Tomorrow, he would take the first real step toward becoming a hero. His stomach twisted. What if I fail? Goku tilted his head. Then you train more. Izuku blinked. That's it? Yeah. But UA is important, Goku said. But failing something doesn't mean you stop existing. Izuku looked down. Goku walked closer. You're scared because this dream matters. That's fine. But don't let fear make your body forget what it learned. Izuku clenched his fists. Goku raised one finger. Tip 1. Try the best way you can do. Izuku nodded. Not the way Bakugo would do it. Not the way All Might would do it. Not the way I would do it. Your way. Izuku listened carefully. Tip 2, Goku continued. Don't let your guard down. Not when you think you're winning. Not when you think the danger is over. Not when you see someone else in trouble. Izuku's eyes sharpened. Yes. Tip 3. Saving people matters, but saving people while throwing your own life away isn't always the answer. Think fast. Move smart. Izuku swallowed. That one hurt. It reminded him of the sludge villain, of running without a plan. Goku saw the look and smiled. You got better. Izuku nodded slowly. I'll keep getting better. That's the answer. The morning of the UA entrance exam came with clear skies. Izuku stood outside the enormous UA gate, staring upward. The school was even larger than he had imagined. Students walked past him from every direction. Some had visible mutations. Some wore expensive training gear. Some moved with confidence that made Izuku's stomach tighten. His old self would have folded inward. His old self would have clutched his notebook and muttered until someone yelled at him. He still clutched his notebook. He still muttered, but his breathing stayed steady. Power level 400. Key stable. Flight limited. Key blast controlled. Reinforcement safe under 20% output. Do not reveal too much. Do not damage other examinees. Prioritize rescue if needed. Do not let guard down. Deku? Izuku froze. Bakugo walked past him, hands in his pockets, eyes sharp. Keika-chan. Bakugo stopped just long enough to glare at him. You actually showed up. Izuku straightened. Yes. Bakugo's eyes narrowed. Something about Izuku was different. Not obvious, not flashy, but different. His posture, his breathing, his eyes. Bakugo scowled. Don't get in my way. He walked on. Izuku watched him go. His heart beat hard, but he did not shrink. Not this time. A soft voice came from above. You're doing fine. Izuku looked up quickly. Goku sat on a cloud. Not metaphorically, literally. High above UA, cross-legged in the sky, almost invisible from the ground unless someone knew exactly where to look. Izuku's eyes widened. He whispered, Master Goku? Goku waved. Izuku panicked and looked around. People are going to see you. Nah, I'm hiding my energy. That does not make you invisible. Goku looked down at himself. Oh, Izuku sighed. Somehow, even after 10 months, this still happened. Goku grinned. I won't interfere. Izuku's expression became serious. You're not coming down? Nope, but what if something goes wrong? Goku's smile softened. That's why I'm watching. Izuku looked up at the clouds. How? Goku pointed at his own eyes. Beyond the clouds, I can see if you can do it. Izuku's throat tightened. Those words reached deeper than he expected. For 10 months, Goku had been there every morning, running beside him, correcting his stance, laughing when he fell, catching him when he nearly crashed, telling him to breathe, telling him to stand, telling him not to quit. Now the gate was in front of him. This step was his. Goku could watch, but Izuku had to walk. Izuku gripped his notebook. Goku? Goku tilted his head. Izuku bowed deeply. Thank you, Master. Goku's eyes widened slightly. The word landed differently this time. Not as a joke, not as panic, as truth. For a moment, Goku remembered Master Roshi's island, King Kai's planet, Kami's lookout, Whis' staff tapping his head when he moved wrong. Every teacher who had shaped him, often by making him do something exhausting and confusing until it finally made sense. He smiled. Go on, Izuku. Izuku straightened. His eyes shone with fear, hope, and determination all at once. I'll do my best. No, Goku said. Izuku paused. Goku's smile became proud. Do your best your way. Izuku nodded. Then he turned toward the gates of UA High School. The crowd moved around him. The exam waited. His dream waited. Above him, hidden among the clouds, Son Goku watched with calm eyes. Below, Izuku Midoriya stepped forward. No quirk, power level 400, ki burning quietly in his chest. And for the first time in his life, the word impossible sounded weaker than his own heartbeat.